I mean, after about 2 or 3, that's about it. I mean, I can't even fathom how eating 63. I couldn't eat 63 in a week, much less in one. What is it, 10 minutes or whatever?
10 minutes.
Yeah, that whole thing is so repulsive. But hey, the guy's made a name for himself. I'm sure he's made millions. So God bless him. God bless America.
Yeah, he's going to need some help with some intestinal stuff later in life, I think. Just like most football players have knee injuries, he's going to have some intestinal work that needs to be done. In the meantime, let's go out to the lines. We got Tom in Crafton. Hey, Tom, how are you today?
Hi. Hey, how you doing, Bob? Congratulations on 40 years. Hi, Paul.
Appreciate it.
I heard you mention a little bit earlier about Mazeroski's 1960 walk-off home run as the only one ever in baseball history.
Game 7, yeah.
I was also going to ask you, didn't Joe Carter also have a Game 7 walk-off?
No, it was Game 6.
Toronto.
It was Game 6.
Oh, okay. Because I know he had a walk-off home run, but I just thought I'd double-check with you on that, make sure you were right.
That is right, Paul. Thank you, Tom. But I think it was, Mazeroski Game 7. I think Joe Carter was a Game 6, correct?
Yeah, I'm almost positive you're correct. It's the only Game 7 one.
Yeah, and that's why that game should have been played today. I'm telling you, 4 o'clock game, and you're right, it doesn't matter what the Pirates are. They have that to go back on. They could have used a lot of video from that. They could have talked to people about it and talk about the Yankees and how good they were in that World Series in terms of outscoring the Pirates in 1960, but they just didn't put it together in a consistent fashion, and the Pirates ended up winning in 7 games. That was pretty phenomenal. All right, now let's talk about free agency real quick and the Penguins. Coming up 9 days until free agency, and so far no deals for Letang and Malkin. I want to get your thought on that and also your column on Deontay Johnson. So I don't know what you think about him. I do know because I read your stuff. But that's a lot of money to pay for Deontay Johnson. So the Steelers are probably convinced they could find people in the draft to get him early and 4 years of a rookie contract.
Well, yeah, and they got just George Pickens and they have Chase Claypool, the 2 guys they picked, relatively early in the draft to see what they can do. So to me, I don't think they have to pay Deontay Johnson now. I don't think a contract has to get done now. Why don't you go through the season and see what you have with Claypool and Pickens, and even Calvin Austin? To me, at the end of the year, if it's pretty clear that neither of those guys are on track to be a number 1, then maybe you just bite the bullet and pay him that money. But boy, that is a lot of money for a receiver, and I'm not convinced that he's legitimately one of the top 10 receivers.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you remember last year Cincinnati took a lot of grief for selecting Jamar Chase early in the first round when they did, but people say, oh, your offensive line, they brought in a weapon for Joe Burrow, and you put him with the other weapons they have, they had an unstoppable force on offense when they got rolling.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You surround your guys with a lot of good players, but receivers to me seem to be guys that you can find in the draft, and the Steelers have been very good at it. And you can have them and not pay them 20-some million, and that way you can use the money elsewhere.
Yeah, and if you have to, you can franchise them. There's always something available if you believe that you have to go that route. All right, Zeise, thanks. Appreciate you staying up. You've been a busy man today. Have a nice rest of your 4th of July, and we'll see you later.
All right.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us here on 93.7 The Fan, and also Pittsburgh CW. We'll be back at you tomorrow at 10:35. Pirates, Yankees highlights, and much more tomorrow. Good night, everyone.